Traveling solo can be freeing. You're on your own schedule. You can do whatever you want. But it can also be dangerous. Strange encounters, eerie hotel rooms, and disappearances that can't be explained. These real solo travel horror stories will make you think twice before going alone. Welcome to POWERFLOW. Let's dive in. I learned that the hard way a few years back in San Diego. I was checking into a hotel after a long day of travel. A man saw me struggling with my bags and offered to help. He seemed nice enough. I thanked him and thought nothing more of it. Later that night, I heard a knock on my door. It was the same man from earlier. He said he was from housekeeping. My gut told me something was wrong. I didn't order housekeeping. I looked through the peephole and saw he had a key card in his hand. I refused to open the door. He kept knocking, getting more insistent. I called hotel security. They arrived and the man disappeared. I later learned from the security footage that the man had used a master key to try to get into my room. I still shudder to think what might have happened if I had opened that door. Another time, I was on a flight to Istanbul. It was a long overnight flight and I was seated next to two large men. They seemed friendly enough at first, but then one of them started talking about a TV show he had been watching. The show was about a serial killer who targeted tourists. He described in detail how the killer would stalk his victims and then dispose of their bodies. I tried to ignore him, but his words sent chills down my spine. He kept talking, getting more and more animated. He even made a few jokes about how easy it would be to get away with murder in a foreign country. I was terrified. When we landed, I practically ran off the plane. My sister later told me that a man matching his description had been arrested for murder shortly after that flight. My scariest experience happened in Mexico. My girlfriend and I were driving back to our Airbnb after a day of exploring. It was getting dark and we were on a remote dirt road. Suddenly, a car pulled out in front of us, blocking the road. 3 men got out. They were big and menacing. One of them was holding a knife. My heart pounded in my chest. My girlfriend and I were trapped. We didn't know what to do. Thinking fast, I threw the car into reverse and slammed on the gas. We sped backwards until we found a place to turn around. The men chased after us, but we managed to lose them. We were shaken but unharmed. Later that week, we were visiting a cenote when we saw one of the men again. He was watching us from a distance, and he still had the knife. We ran as fast as we could and never looked back. I've never been so scared in my life. These experiences have taught me that solo travel can be dangerous. You never know who you can trust. My advice? Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't put yourself in risky situations. And if the worst happens, don't be afraid to fight back. Stay safe out there, fellow travelers. The world is an amazing place, but it's important to be prepared for the unexpected. Would you travel alone after hearing these stories? Let me know in the comments. And if you love true horror stories, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications because here at POWERFLOW, some journeys lead to nightmares. See you in the next one.